Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today, kicking off our 2017 webinar series. Today, we're going to be going through our power meter line. My name is Brant Kasbaum, sales engineer here at ACI, and thanks for joining us. If you're watching this, the archived version of this webinar, please ask your questions by contacting us through our website, which is workaci.com, or by emailing me directly, and my contact info will be up on the screen at the end of this presentation. So let's get started. Today we're going to be going through our full power line or power meter line, which consists of three products: the Power Scout 3037, the Power Scout 24, and their accompanying CTs. So let's begin by talking about the Power Scout, or the PS 3037. It's a small, compact device designed to be mounted right in an electrical panel, and it's got a number of features that make it easy to install and easy to operate. And we'll go through these features here over the next few minutes. This device can measure numerous electrical parameters, including voltage, current, power, energy consumption, and a number of other parameters on either one three-phase circuit or three single-phase circuits. It's a small, compact device that you see here. It's very easy to install and fit inside an electrical panel. This device is going to communicate to your BMS or control system using BACnet or Modbus protocol. And it also features a digital or a pulse output over a serial connection or an Ethernet connection. It can be used for net metering. So if you've got some on-site electrical generation, you can use this device for net metering applications. And it can be used with any or all of the CTs that are accompanying. You can mix and match CTs, and so you can pair the proper CT with the device depending on the specifics of your application. And it can be used on services or equipment up to 4,000 amps. It features a phase check LED indication system, and this LED system is unique, and it indicates, using the LEDs on the device, whether the CTs are oriented in the proper direction and installed properly. So that helps on installation to make it faster and easier. It's powered by the device or the load being monitored up to 600 volts. So you don't need any external fuse packs with this device. All of the fusing is internal to the enclosure, to the package. So that means fewer devices to install, fewer devices to order. It meets the highest level of revenue grade accuracy. It can be DIN rail mounted or panel mounted. There's a built-in DIN rail slot on the back to allow it to be easily snapped into a DIN rail, or it can be mounted using the wings on the side of the device. And it carries both the UL and CE listings, and every PS 3037 comes with the NIST calibration certificates included, so you don't have to order or specify that separately. This is going to communicate to you over a serial RS-485 or an optional Ethernet connection via BACnet, MSTP or IP, or Modbus TCP IP or RTU protocols. And all of those protocols are built into the device. There's nothing that needs to be configured to get this device to communicate with your control system. Here's a list of the common Modbus Register or BACnet object descriptions that show some of the most commonly used electrical parameters that these devices are going to measure. And they include system true energy, peak demand, and this can be measured on the total circuit or each individual phase of the circuit. You can get average line voltage, apparent power factor, and a number of others. There's several dozen different parameters that this device can measure. These are some of the most common. We're going to take a second here and show you what the LED looks like or the LCD on the PS 3037 looks like, and it will scroll through some of the common parameters that are being measured. As you can see that it'll show volts, it'll show amps, it will show peak kilowatts, And so this is what the LCD looks like on the device when it's in operation. It cycles through and shows some of the common parameters that are being measured. And this is an easy way to view in real time what's being measured by the PS3037. It also has a standard pulse output that can be used to send kilowatt-hour signal to a non-BACnet or Modbus device like a data logger, something that can accept a pulse. This device has 2 pulse outputs that can communicate to that. Let's talk about the revenue grade performance. This is going to meet the highest level of accuracy for all revenue grade applications throughout North America. So that means that the PS3037 and the accompanying CTs can be used for applications where you're billing, for tenant billing or demand response. It's very easy to set this device up. It's going to connect to your computer via a simple USB port, and it's going to be powered by the USB from your PC. It uses a software package called Viewpoint that's very easy to set up and install, and it can be programmed right at your desk. Let's take a look here and show you what the Viewpoint software looks like, and it's very simple. It's very streamlined to set these the software up for these devices. A neat feature about the Viewpoint software is that if you're setting up multiple devices, so say you want to monitor multiple pieces of equipment in a single building, or you have a set list of parameters that you want to measure across numerous devices, you can save the configurations in the Viewpoint software and then download those into each device separately instead of having to reconfigure each device during the setup process. And the Viewpoint software is available for download on our website. So if you'd like to take a look at it and see for yourself how easy it is to use before purchasing or testing one of these power meters, feel free to reach out and we can get you that link to where you can download the Viewpoint software. One feature about these power meters, both the PS3037 and the PS24 that we'll be talking about in a minute, is that these can be set up and configured at your desk in your office. Some competitive meters, you have to set them up in the field while they're powered and operating. And obviously that can be problematic simply because these aren't always in the most conveniently accessible locations, especially if you're monitoring pieces of equipment. So these can be set up and programmed at your desk in the comforts of your own office. And they don't require any external fuse packs. So that means fewer devices to install. Any of the fusing all of the fusing is internal to the device, and it would be covered by the warranty. So we don't anticipate or we don't see any fuses blowing and any replacements of the fuses. We're going to move on and talk about the PS24, which has a very similar features to the PS3037, but it's designed to handle up to 24 single-phase inputs or 8 three-phase inputs. And it can measure the same types of electrical parameters as the 3037. So you can measure power, energy, kilowatts, voltage, and any number of parameters. There's several dozen different types of measurements that can be calculated by the PS24. It uses the same types of CTs, whether the split core or the Rogowski style rope CTs, and it also has the same phase check LED indication system that shows you that whether the CTs are oriented and installed properly, so that speeds up installation and reduces errors. And it's powered by the load being monitored up to 600 volts, and again, that it doesn't require any external fuse packs. And it does carry both the UL and the CE listing. And the PS24 is designed for high density monitoring of multiple circuits. But it's still in a compact enclosure, as you can see here. It's about a foot tall and about 8 or 10 inches wide. and it's very easy to install and set up. And it's going to communicate along the same way as the PS3037 using Modbus, TCP or RTU protocols, or BACnet MSTP or BACnet over IP. But there are a couple of unique features on the PS24 that aren't available with the 3037, and those are that the PS24 has 2 digital input ports, so it can accept inputs, pulse inputs from external devices such as gas meters, water meters, or any other types of devices that are outputting a pulse signal. And it also has an external power supply built in that can handle it's 5 volts DC up to 200 milliamps. So this device can power any external devices such as data loggers or radios or gateways. And it is available in an optional NEMA 4X enclosure that can be a simple standalone enclosure for your panel mounts. Let's get into the accompanying CTs. There are 3 different styles of CTs. There's the mini and MIDI. These are the smallest ones that would handle the lowest level of current. The medium style, the medium split core, have 3 sizes: small, medium, large, and that's the next step up in the amount of load that these can handle. Then there's also the rope style Rogowski coil, row coil CTs that can handle up to 4,000 or 5,000 amps, depending on which of the meters that they're communicating to. These CTs are also available in revenue grade versions. The CTs have to be ordered specifically for revenue grade applications, and so they can be used in any tenant billing or high accuracy demand applications. The ranges for the CTs for the mini and MIDI, and these would go from up to 20 to 50 amps. There's the MIDI size, and this is going to go up to either 100 or 200 amps. There's the medium style split core, and these can go up to anywhere from 100 to 600 amps. And then we have the Rogowski coil rope CTs that can go up to 4,000 to 5,000 amps, depending on which meter they're communicating to. The Rogowski coil CTs, that seems to be the type of CTs that people gravitate to, but they're not always the ideal for every application. And we here at ACI are happy to discuss applications with you and help you get the best CT for your application that's going to generate the highest level of accuracy at the lowest cost. The Rogowski coil CTs, the output of these is scaled to between 5,000 and 4,000 amps when used with the PS3037, and up to 5,000 amps when used with the PS24. And for the majority of applications, we're not dealing with that high of loads. We're dealing with loads in the hundreds of amps and not the thousands of amps. So in those cases, oftentimes the smaller CTs can get you a higher level of resolution and accuracy, and they're available at a lower cost as well. So feel free to reach out to us at any time, and we're happy to walk you through and discuss the application with you to find the CT and meter combination that's going to get you the highest level of accuracy at the best price. The CTs are typically interchangeable, and so we can help you on those with those questions as well. They're all internally shunted and carry the UL and ETL certifications and the CE marks for intrinsically safe operation on energized conductors. That concludes the presentation portion of the webinar today. I wanted to conclude by saying that all of these parts, both the CTs and the meters, are made in the USA, and they're backed by a full 5-year warranty, the same type of warranty that you're familiar with our temperature and humidity and pressure transducers. And I wanted to point your attention to our upcoming webinars. We've got one coming a month from now that we're really excited about. It's going to go through in detail our new DLP, differential pressure transducer. And this is a product that we're very excited about. It's going to be a game changer. This product is going to be the highest and best differential pressure transducer on the market. And this webinar corresponds with the introduction of this product. So the DLP is going to give you a combination of accuracy, ease of installation, and value that's unseen on the marketplace. And Maya Holzmer is going to be here on March 23rd to go through the specs of and the details of the DLP transducer. So mark your calendars for that, and please join us. We also have the ability to tailor custom and personalized webinars for you, your staff, your sales team, your engineers, your customers. So please reach out to our marketing department, whose email address is on the screen here, and we'd be happy to tailor a webinar for you at any time. With that, my contact information is up on the screen if you're watching the archived version of this webinar, or if you've got more detailed questions that weren't covered by the presentation in this webinar, please feel free to reach out to me or any of the other sales engineers here at ACI. Let's get into the Q&A portion of the webinar, and please submit your questions below, and we'll go through those right now. First question is, can you use other CTs with these meters? Answer is yes, you can. It's a yes, but. So yes, you can use other CTs with these meters. However, these meters were designed to work specifically with these CTs. So if you use other CTs, the accuracy specifications may not be met, and that phase check LED indication system may not work properly as well. So we may not be able to tell or know upon installation if the CTs are properly oriented. So it would take a great deal of care when using other CTs with these devices. Next question is, when would you recommend using a row coil versus the different or the split core style CTs? Good question. The row coil, the differences between the row coils and the other CTs are mainly their size and the level of current that they can monitor. So the smaller CTs like this are obviously, they can't handle as large of a wire size, and they're going to scale their output along a lower range of current. Whereas the rope style CTs, and this is just the 12-inch one, we've got rope CTs that go up to 6 feet in length. And so these, when using or when selecting the CTs, the two main considerations are your wire size and the total current or the total load that you're going to be monitoring. Like I mentioned briefly before, the rope CTs are scaling their output up to 4,000 or 5,000 amps, depending on the meter being used. So if you're measuring a smaller load, say 100 amps, you're only using a tiny bit of the output or the scale of the rope style CT. So in those cases where you're using less than about 600 amps is where the cutoff is. If you're using 600 or under, we typically recommend the split core style CTs or the MIDI or the mini CTs, because you're going to get a higher level of overall accuracy and a higher level of resolution and a lower cost as well. If you have specific questions about that, feel free to reach out. We're certainly happy to help. Another question is, using the PS24, what sort of distance may the CTs be located from the unit? They come with 8 feet of leads built in, and so that's typically the recommendation. There are the availability to get longer leads by special order, but typically within 8 feet is the general recommendation. Another question is, what's the difference between the revenue grade CTs and the non-revenue grade CTs? And that's simply the revenue grade CTs are manufactured to a higher level of tolerance and accuracy, easy for me to say. So they're designed to meet the highest level of revenue grade accuracy, which is 0.2%. The standard CTs are, in order to keep costs down, don't always meet that specification. So the revenue grade ones, when ordered, can be specified as such, and those can be used to meet the highest level of revenue grade accuracies throughout North America. With that, that was the last of the questions. There's one additional question I saw here from Dan. He's asking, do we have any recommendations on data loggers, or since we don't manufacture those? Dan, reach out. We can speak to that offline. Depending on the specifics of the application, we may be able to help you steer you in the right direction for the data loggers. With that, if there's no more questions, that will conclude our Power Meter webinar. Easy for me to say. Feel free to reach out to us at any time, and we're happy to help walk through the specs of the application and get you the correct product at the best price anytime. Please mark your calendars for March 23rd, where we'll be going through our DLP pressure sensor webinar, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again. Have a great day.